The Picanto first appeared back in 2004. Now this is the third gen, and this is a GT line. Now you'll remember about 4 years ago we drove a GT line, but this is the facelift. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. At first glances the car appears to be the same. It's only when you look a little closer that you can see they've done some tweaks. For example, completely new grille, the shaping round here, even some of the styling on the bumper, and the biggest change, a 1 litre turbo engine under the bonnet as opposed to a 1.25, and it's 3-cylinder as well. And that's the thing, they're not the most balanced engines in the world, but they can be pretty peppy. And I love a 3-pot purely and simply because of the sound. It's nippy, it handles well. Okay, it pulls 0 to 60 in around 9.9, and I think it's about 100 horsepower. But power to weight ratio in something like this means you can have great fun on a back lane. That's why I'd buy a Picanto. Considering the price of this, which is around £16,000, it's pretty well kitted out. For example, front and rear discs, so it stops as well as it goes. Everything's colour coded and it really works with this yellow, even the caps of the mirrors. And the styling around here, the combination of black and these vents, and these are functional. It's just got a menacing look. And you will find a decent level of safety too. Now the previous one I drove in Silverdale, so lovely B roads, and the 1.25 wasn't bad, but this is far better. You've got 16-inch wheels and a satin trim along the bottom, and side skirts. Now the one thing that doesn't really float my boat is chrome door handles. Yeah, they may work on like a bling SUV, but on something like this I prefer understated, so something like a matte black, because you've got this lovely chrome trim that runs along the window line. Yeah, it's got great proportions and a wheel at each corner, meaning it's formidable on a B road. We've got keyless entry and keyless go. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, hard plastics throughout, but it's a Supermini. It comes with the territory. Door opens nice and wide, and it's not a bad opening, especially for a city car. Climbing in, not bad at all. No grab handle though. The things you do have though, you've got things like automatic lights, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and an analog cluster. Lots of rotary dials. So it's good to see that everything's nice and easy to use. Light headliner, and interestingly, privacy glass. Build quality's not bad. Yeah, there's a bit of flex. The switch gear, well, similar. Everything's nice and easy to use. And this is all pretty much solid. But as I keep saying, it's a city car, so you don't expect soft touches to envelop everything. It's a shame this doesn't match the colour of the paint, but that would be far too expensive. Sporty steering wheel. You can see that you've got your controls here. Small fuel computer in the middle, and pretty sturdy stalks. And some shortcut buttons here. You can even adjust your headlamp height. Let's see what the door sounds like. Pretty solid. So yeah, the door cards are a little dark, but they're lit up with this like mathematical pattern with stripes and red. I've got a footrest on this side. Seats, well, they're comfortable and they're supportive. They're not the most lavish things in the world, but headroom. At 6'3", I've still got probably about 1.5 inches above my head. You've got some glosses here to lighten it up, old school handbrake and a 5-speed gearbox. Some cup holders, press, oh nice, I like that. Reload, very cool. And yes, that is a wireless charging pad. Probably needs to be on. There we go. Nice. I do like additional touches like that. Decent infotainment screen, navigation, and it's relatively responsive. Air conditioning, and I think that's your lot. There's lots of little storage points, and room in here, well, it's not bad. Padded area on the door. It's a good driving position. There's no reach with the steering wheel, only rake. It's nice to see an armrest in the centre. Yeah, does exactly what it says on the tin. Let's take a look in the back. Thank you. It's a rather smart looking car. If you notice, the ground clearance is pretty good, meaning campsites and small adventures aren't off the table. Do be careful with the alloys though, they're rather nice. Okay, let's see what the back's like. Door opens nice and wide. That's almost a 90-degree angle. Now remember, my seat is set at 6'3", so it's not going to be like the Ritz. Saying that, it's doable. My hair does slightly brush on the roof, but I kind of expected that. Yet again, hard plastics, and you don't see the sporty pattern that you see on the front. But the build quality is nice and solid. One thing that was missing off the first one, and is still missing, is the cup holder. But you've got an electric window. It's pretty good in here. I can get my feet under the seats, and I've got decent leg room, even set at 6'3". That's the thing I can't really get over. There's far more room in here than you'd expect. It's not quite like the EV6 TARDIS the other day, but it's still very good for a city car. Grab handle on every door except the driver's. I've never got that. One thing that does pop out to me is the fact that you can see paintwork on the inside. You don't see that very often now. It's comfortable and it's relatively supportive. And perforated, I assume it's like a vegan leather. And the red stitching. It's nice to see continuity throughout. And if you've noticed, this isn't at too steep an angle. Finally, ISOFIX point and airbags. No, it's rather smart at the back. Little styling tweaks here, accent throughout, and a relatively chunky bumper. And it looks pretty nice in what I'd class as a canary yellow. I bet you've not seen that since the Mark 1 Fiesta. You've got a reversing camera, and look, the new badge, and it suits it. The old one was looking, in a word, old hat. Ooh, shark fin, and high level bright light. GT line, and of course, a 7-year warranty. Yeah, boot lip. Can't really get away from one of those in this size of car, because if you did have a false floor, you would have literally no boot. It's not a bad size, you'd quite easily get your week's shopping in there, and a suitcase or two. Shopping bag hooks, boot light, and if you lift this, you've got an inflation kit. And I suppose if you were to remove that, you'd maybe get a spare wheel in there. Spare wheels add weight and also cost, but it's doable. 60/40 split folding seats, and nice and easy to remove the parcel shelf. And dropping the seats, well, simplicity. Push this forward and, yeah, kind of expected that. So you've got, well, a fair old lip. But I'd quite easily get a mountain bike in here with the wheel removed. As you can tell by all the Kias going past and the fact that we have a Kia number plate, it's a Kia range day. Well, I'm back behind the wheel of a Kia Picanto. It has been 4 years. And the interesting thing is, it may be a city car, but last time we had one, we took it to London. That's about 260 miles. Ooh, I like this 1 litre turbo engine. 0 to 60 in around, well, it says 10. I think it's a touch quicker than that. But it's nimble, it's agile. And the proportions of this car means it's excellent on a back road. Just putting up the rear windows. That's significantly reduced wind noise. Considering we've got relatively low profile tyres on 16s, you do get a little bit of tyre noise, but you would expect more. So it's nicely refined. And considering this is a 3-pot engine as well, it seems to be well balanced. You will feel a bit when you're pulling away, so it's best to give it more revs. Yeah, my word, tall trees. That takes me back, yeah. Get out of junctions quickly though. Handling, yeah, great fun. It grips like it's on rails. You can chuck these around, in my words. Oh, it's lovely to see the rapeseed in the fields. Yellow, and yellow. Who doesn't love yellow? No, it's comfortable suspension. And the thing is, it's not rock hard. Yeah, you can feel the odd bump, but that's good in a little sporty city car because it means you can actually feel the road. Steering's not the heaviest in the world, but feedback's pretty good, and it's nice and direct. If you do corner hard, you will get body roll, but you can still meander through some corners at decent speed. Gearbox, nice and solid. Little short shift, and there's power. Even when I drop to second, then no lag. Now, even there, around I think it was 4,000 in second, there's still power. The one place you will notice it is if I go from second to fifth, then there'll be, yeah, pretty much nothing. So yeah, it's certainly improved on the previous one. I much prefer the 1 litre turbo to the 1.25. Oh, bit of wheel spinach. Do you just love the noise of the 3-pot? 1-touch electric window. Engine noise. Well, it's quite quiet, especially if you're pottering around villages. Yeah, it will make a racket under load, but that's what I want. But if you're driving it normally, absolutely no problem. Joining A roads, motorways, yeah, it's not bad. The 1 litre turbo's peppy enough to get it up to speeds pretty quickly. Economy. Well, it does boast, I think it's up to about 60 miles. But on an eco run, you might well exceed that, to be honest. But on average, say 45 to 50. It's pretty well equipped. It's comfortable. It's far more roomy than you give it credit for. And it's got a decent level of safety.